You're such an asshole.
Oh, look at me being funny. Oh, the old amazing atheist. Now, let me explain it to you kids so you know how amazing he was. See, he was an atheist, right? Now, this is real dope. Check this out. This is how cool he was. Like all the other atheists, you don't understand how cool atheists is. They don't believe in God. Yep, look at that. Aren't they cool? That's so fucking edgy, man. And like libertarians and people who talk about central banking and pilots and vegans, they don't shut the fuck up about it. Man, he had a huge fall. I don't know ever what happened. Was it Kirk or TJ Kirk? Was that his name? I ran afoul of him and his Fraggy Vaggy friends. I did another, like long ago, I did a video like stop faking mental illness, and all of him and his friends who had nothing but their fake mental illnesses to celebrate. A bunch of squealing seals. I wonder, yeah, he's still gotta be around. And then he shoved a banana up his ass. Look it up. You kids. Yeah, it said it was in the aughts. It was a different time. All right, we got a request. If you got a request, you could go to assholeconsulting.com. Whoa. That's the follow-up. I fucked it. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm thinking of moving out of home so the world can kick my ass. Is that a good approach, or should I join a fitness boot camp instead? Can't join the military. Thanks, you motherfucker. Now get cancer. And I'm like, well, what, you got a job? You got to give me more to go on. He's like, I have a job as an Instacart shopper. That's not a real job. Currently switching to accounting. Dude, there's a lot of ore in your life, isn't it? Okay, all right, stop. Let's just stop right now. Link below. I kind of pre-screened this. You're just a lazy fuck. Okay? And that's everybody's a lazy fuck. It's whether you're a smart enough fuck to know you should stop being a lazy fuck to get off your ass and go live life before you die. That's it. I don't fight laziness. I got a course out there called How to Stop Being Lazy. It's linked below. You could find it on Teachable. Yes, I am going to profit from it. But dude, if you don't here, if you don't want to try it, you get a choice. You don't get both. You have it in your mind that you can have your cake and eat it too. That you could be a fat, loud sow with blue hair and find your Henry Cavill Prince Charming, who's just around the corner. Right? Because should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or you don't work? I doubt you work on anything total with chores and everything. You don't work more than 30 hours a week. And you keep giving, like a typical weak, sad, pathetic slob, you keep giving me, should I go to school or should I work? Tell me you're lazy without telling me you're lazy. And you know what, man? Just as if somebody wants to be fat, can intellectually honestly say, you know what? I prefer being fat. I prefer food and laziness over sex. I value a sedentary, easy, lazy, gluttonous, yummy, tasty food lifestyle more than I value sex. And it is not, or the fear of the pain or enduring the pain that would be required for me to become a physically attractive person. I value the tasty food and the easy life more than the sex I would get if I gave it up and worked out. That's fine. You could continue, by the way, he lives at home. You could continue being an Instacart shopper. You could continue living at home. All right. You could continue not having sex. You could continue, in my opinion, to be wasting your life, but you might have a different value. So you just love being lazy so much. You love that leisure. Do yourself the favor and stop trying to have both when they are mutually exclusive. And I have that feeling you will not put forth the effort to be a man because you keep or. It's always the or. Should I work hard or should I go to school? You do not get ahead in this world just doing 40 hours a week. You maintain yourself. That's maintenance. If you wish to excel or you're in a hole, like let's say you fall behind debt, kids you can't afford, stupid degree, whatever, you have to work more than 40 hours a week. I'm going to guess you're fat. I'm going to guess you got no skills. So if you want to move forward, yeah, I've talked about there's the wandering in the desert period, right? And that's where you do nothing but work. 60 on the low end, more like 80, 100 on the high end hours per week. I did my wandering in the desert for about 3.5 years going to school. I worked full time, went to school full time. And then when I got out of the college school, there was no debt and I had somewhat of a skill and got what could be charitably described as somewhat of a career. Ye Should I go out and get my apartment, or you will do it all? All. Now, let me explain this concept. It's very advanced in Cappy Cappitism, all right? So there's none, right? You're doing neither. Neither. Okay. Then there's one, which is also called there's neither. Then there's or. Well, I'm not going to do two. I'm only going to do one. Then there's both. That's pretty advanced. I'm going to work and go to school. I'm going to work out and go to and work a full-time job. And then there's all. That's the very special, splendorific, shock, successful people who do it all. And they're busy all the time. Sometimes that just means both because full-time school, full-time work, you will be tired, and that's all. Some people, if you can believe it, sir, some people work, they go to school, they lift weights, some might even have a family and manage their time very well. They can do it all. But I don't want to get into those advanced concepts. Stop giving me, you need to decide now. Is it worth the pain of doing both? You're going to have to do both. There is no or. Right? You're going to have to be doing two serious things here out of several serious things. On the menu of all, you're going to pick two. Then down when you finish one, then you're going to have to pick up another one. Now, this is pretty much a lifelong change. Are you willing to put in the work to become a real man? If you're not, that is fine. Stop pining for what you can't have then. Like, I remember towards the end of my drinking days, I'm like, dude, I'm sick and tired of wrestling about whether I should drink. I'm either going to drink and enjoy it or not. And I got to that Zen point where it's like, no, I'm going to drink it guilt-free. Now, more modernly, am I going to have that root beer float guilt-free or not? And it's very hard. You can't enjoy anything if there's guilt associated with it. I'm trying to give you away the guilt. I say this to the handful. It's rare, but occasionally I do get female clients and they want to meet a guy. And not all, but most. I say, okay, send me a picture. I'm like, okay, you're fat. I give them the exact same option, the exact same discussion. Look, you're obviously not serious about finding a guy. You're overweight. Now, there's no right or wrong. The wrong answer is being wrong to yourself, lying to yourself. What do you value more, lady? Do you want to sit and eat and be sedentary and fat? Is that more important? And I kind of have the philosophical discussion where you already have your answer. I already have my answer. If we look at obesity rates among Americans or overweight, weight rates or whatever, 70% of men and women are not, they value food and sedentary lifestyle more than the opposite sex, more than love, more than sex. That's fine. Stop feeling guilty about it is all I'm saying. I mean, your behaviors kind of tell you, you know what to do, you know what not to do. And so I always have this discussion with the girl. Like, look, how important is it to you? That's a serious life change. That's a life of work. It's a life of sacrifice. I mean, it never killed anyone. Matter of fact, your fat pig sedentary lifestyle is what's going to kill you early, but it's not my life. Well, should I do this or should I? You need to do both. You need to do both. So just like the fat woman who comes up to me and says, well, how do I find a guy? I say, you got to lose weight, but it's an option. Is going on the treadmill and sacrificing the tasty food and the work is that worth it to you, or do you value the food and if you value I've never understood this. Ladies, okay, we got it. Feminists, we got it. You don't like guys, we get it. They're public enemy number one. All right, well, wouldn't you then fuck off already instead of bitch and whine about men all the time? Like, if you legit didn't care about men, you just did not like them, go fishing. Go be fat. I have met a couple gals like that, and they're just doing it, and they're happier. It's the same thing you, man. Is becoming a man more important to you than the laziness and the sloth, the lifestyle you got now? Because you got an easy life, man. You live at home. You don't really work a real job. It's not hard. You won't have to go to school or get training or go work at the railroad and be shipped off somewhere far, far away. You won't have to be bored. You won't have to be lonely. You won't have to have night shifts. You won't have to do without food. You won't have to be, you just sit there, collect your EBT chicken tendies, put them underneath your armpit, drive around with your fake job, mommy, and play your, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's you. You got to figure that out. Okay. And decide. Not today, not tomorrow, but sit down and what do I really want? Right. But then if you do want to become a man, well, we got some things to do here. So let's go through your request. Instacart shopper, currently switching to accounting, 24, live with my mom. I bought my first house at 24. You know, with how much parents help? 0, because I was a real fucking man. I have no skills. So you started going to school at 5. It's been 19 years since you got no skills. 2 decades, not a skill, huh? I think I'm a bitch because whenever things don't go my way, I get a little irritable and I'm no longer social or polite. I think this behavior is unacceptable and prevent me from succeeding in life. I think getting my ass kicked will help solve this problem. All right, yes. Here's what you're kind of facing. How do I want to put it? People without real problems or obligations, your brain always finds the problems to eliminate them, which is fine. That's good. You want to have a problem-free life as much as possible. But for example, second world countries, like for example, Mexicans, even Mexican Americans or immigrants here, Latinos in general, they're in poorer households. Guess what they have a lower incident rate of? Autism, Asperger's, social anxiety, all this other not made up but faked horse shit that only started coming along when, we're just sitting on our ass. We got the world's reserve currency. I'd be really curious to see after a country reaches, say, $45,000 in GDP per capita, like below that, do you really get the Asperger's and the autism and the social anxiety and all these other mental disorders? Or does that only come after like all the other real problems like food, clothing, shelter, and safety are done and taken care of? It's like a luxury mental illness to have. Not saying it doesn't happen, but boy, there's a real curious correlation there. You don't have no problems. You don't have to worry about rent. You have to worry about a car payment, I'm guessing. Mom lets you live at home. And so without these big major, like someone calls me a name, it never really bothered me. 99 out of 100 times it's your buddy calling you a name. But then some people are like, hey man, I'm sorry if I was too hard. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I got more important shit. Of course you weren't insulting me. And if you were, I wouldn't care. I have shit going on. There's more important shit because whatever. I had to make a mortgage payment. The car wasn't working. I had to get another car. So truly privileged people, and that's what you are. I know your family might be poor, but you're privileged. You don't work really. I don't care if you're precious little princess, suburbanite girl in Winnetka or trailer trash welfare collecting Jim or ghetto trash welfare collecting Bob. Y'all ain't working. The trailer or the ghetto may not, Section 8 housing may not be the night, but y'all don't work and all your problems are very petty in the grand scheme of things. And if these are you don't even have first world problems. You got 0 world problems. Somebody say something that offended you. What are you? Some like Kotaku IGN journalist? Are you some New York Times writer? Who are you? You get upset with this? You need real problems introduced into your life. You need real things to concern yourself with. Because for the most part, people are probably, when things don't go your way, I get a little irritable and no longer social and polite. Well, soon you're not going to have any friends. And it'll just be you and your Nebraska, look it up, and your video games and your Instacart shopping and hanging out with mom. And then your chicken tendies in your armpits. I again, if it's too daunting for you to become a man, to get a job, to get a real life, da, 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 that's fine. And if that's the case, then you probably have to talk to a therapist or realize, wow, you know what? I got a real easy life here. And I shouldn't be annoyed by these very small, like, my buddy Jim, he's trying to become a mechanic. He's got night school and he's busting his ass off at whatever, the factory or work security. And he called me a little bitch. Yeah, maybe it stung, but you know what? He probably didn't mean anything offensive with that. Maybe it was a little constructive criticism and ribbon. I shouldn't let that get to me. Right? So I would at minimum, make a concerted effort to say, for normal people who work jobs that support themselves and are contributing members of society who got issues to worry about, family, commutes, stuff like that, is what they said. Would that bother them? Is that really something to get annoyed about? And if it's not, I should get annoyed about. I should be grateful and happy that that's the problem I got. And then why put yourself in a bad mood then? There's no reason to be in a bad mood. You got an easy life. It's fine. Okay? So don't get worked up about it. You should, really people recommend I go through anger management. People recommend um like every night or every morning you wake up and say what you're thankful for. Not kind of like a prayer, but if you don't believe in God, which I'm pretty atheist and agnostic, except my dick's big enough. I don't say I'm an atheist. Oh my God, I'm so fucking edgy. It's just like, no, my dick is adequately sized. Thank you. No, I just happen not to believe it. That's all. No, let's talk about something else because it's not a complicated philosophy. Have I told you I'm a vegan? Anyway, you should list what you're thankful for. And like, oh yeah, things are really great. And I think that's what you should do. I don't have to work hard. I'm never hungry. I got free rent. I don't really have to go to the gym. I just got back from the gym. The gym sucks. I hate the gym. Do you know how boring and painful it is lifting things and setting down, lifting things, setting them down? I get to mix concrete later. It's in the 90s today. You don't have to worry about that. But yes, so I would be thankful. Go for look up thankful rituals or thankful thoughts or thankful something. I'd also get The Way of Monkey book, to be perfectly honest. That's a great book. Go get The Way of Monkey book by Turd Flinging Monkey. So I'd be focusing on how nice and easy your life is and then be appreciative of it. But yes, if you are not polite in Seville because things aren't perfect on your already pretty easy, happy life, you are going to alienate people. And then at least if you're lazy, at least when you're lazy, you could still have friends. I have a buddy, he's absolutely miserable now. His life is ruined. By the way, if you don't become a man, your life, and you don't have rich parents, this is where your life is going to end up. And even though he was lazy and avoided work as much as he possibly could, he was still a very interesting guy. And I did have a good friendship with him until he bitched out, kind of probably maybe what you might do. We got all harumphy because we were delayed by traffic. And they just walked out. It's like, I don't have time for this little bitch fest. Right? Yeah, he's miserable, alone, fat, and about to die early because he won't even work to get food. Anyway, um, you need to not ruin that very incredible, if not ultimately important aspect of your life, your social life, because let's admit it, you're not going to get a woman. You're not going to get a wife. You're not going to have love in your life. That's fine. That's a choice. Nothing wrong with it. But you are not going to get married and have kids. And so when your mom passes away, your family is going to become your friends. So you better become a pleasant person to be around. I'm not saying, like super happy, but you better not become prickly or a prima donna because then you'll have nothing. What's great? No, your friends don't care if you're fat. Your friends probably don't even care if you work or not, especially if they're Democrat. Matter of fact, they insist you don't work. They're like, oh man, did you get your chicken tendies from EBT? I put my chicken tendies on my left armpit, but do you do the right armpit? And then you got the really cool guy who not only collects, welfare, but disability says, I put my chicken tendies in my crotch. Like, oh, dude, Frank is so cool. He gets so many chicken tendies from the government, put them in his crotch. He's crotch chicken tendies rich. That's how rich Frank is. Anyway, having this discussion, you need your friends there to have that discussion. If you don't have friends, you are going to have a horrible life. Horrible. So I think you could still have a life not being a real man, not having a real job, not having any skills, living in. You still, I mean, there's really no social shame right? I mean, y'all want, not you, I'm not speaking to you, but everyone kind of wants free shit and bailouts. It's human nature. I would say certainly after Gen X, maybe even part of Gen X, no one really cares if you're collecting a government check, right? So there's no shame or anything like that. So people are perfectly fine if you're friends. I personally can't be friends with Democrat. I just can't. Or forget the Dem if you just don't support yourself. Matter of fact, now I think I do have a couple Democrat friends that I don't respect them, but I am friendly towards them because they work hard. But neither here nor there, you got to get that personality thing checked. Because if you don't, you'll have nothing in life. You'll just have food to consume, and that's about it. I think it's getting my ass kicked will help solve this problem. So let's go to I'm a spoiled brat. I'm thinking of moving out of the home so the world can kick my ass. Is this a good approach? Or no, is this a good approach? And should I join a fitness boot camp instead? Can't join the military. All right, let's talk about how to become a man. Men are formed through suffering. That's it. You suffer and endure pain, and you become a man by carving a living out of reality and nature for yourself. It is self-supportation. That's it. Do you support yourself or do you need other people? You are either independent, legit, no fucking joke, independent, or you are dependent. You are a parasite. You need other people to pay for your shit. Now, I can understand, even at your age, given what rents are, I would not be moving out of the house just yet. I'd be incredibly thankful to your mother. I would be doing dishes and whatever your mom wanted around the house because your mom is very kind and a wonderful woman for you to do that. And rents have gotten so ridiculous that you will cripple your future finances going out trying to rent your own place and be a man. But you do need to get to the point that you can afford your own apartment so that you are not dependent upon your mother down the road and into the future. So let's talk about that. Independence, how you achieve independence. You make enough money per hour that you can pay for everything you consume. There it is. That's it. And I have copious amounts of resources and materials and books and all that. The quickest way, though, is you have to go and get some kind of skill. And let me pull this up. Let's go through the resources I got. Where did it go? Kindle list. I have a list of, here we go. Good jobs with no education. So let's go through a couple of venues. Generally, you have to get a skill that is difficult or painful or both. A skill people don't want to learn and people don't want to do because it's difficult and painful. What did I say about becoming a man? You must suffer. And the way you get high wages is you have something that's difficult or painful or hard that other people don't want to do and won't do, meaning there's a very limited supply of the men and women who will do it. Medical school. I am too lazy to go to medical school. I'm not going to medical school. Concrete working. Engineering. People, I say, I can't find a job. Well, have you thought about becoming an accountant? Accounting's boring. Fuck you and stop snorting the white girl blood. Jesus Christ. There is no world, unless you're a hot chick with good boobs, and you could do OnlyFans, where there's a job that's easy and it pays a lot. It doesn't exist. Stop fucking trying to find it. So the first step is you have to find a skill, a trade, where you get some kind of training, you get this skill, and then you are paid enough money per hour because everyone else is too lazy and weak to do the job itself that you can then pay for rent, pay for food, pay for all your expenses, and have enough money left over to save for retirement. That is a real man or a real woman, an independent woman. Ladies, you are interested. So we've talked about this, God, probably since I was your age. I have a book called Worthless, The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. It talks about what degrees are worthwhile and which ones are not if you decide to go the college route. There are the trades. We've talked about the trades: plumber, HVAC, electrician, pipe fitter, boiler maker, truck driver, I guess falls in that, welder. That's something you can look into. There is the railroads. And here I got that list. There are jobs where they will train you now. They're not easy. Out of high school, I think BNSF was offering $80,000. They're going to look up the town called Ardmore. No, not Ardmore. Edgemont, South Dakota. Look up where that town is. I've seen jobs on the bulletin boards for jobs down in Edgemont, South Dakota. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's boring. There's nobody here. There's nothing to do. That's why you paid $80,000 an hour, knucklehead. Or $80,000 a year, sorry. Or Portal, North Dakota. Right? So let me go through this list of jobs that you don't need to. So infusion nurse, chimney sweeper. Ooh, I'll get dirty. Yes, you will. Railroads, X-ray tech, lineman, Thor. Red Pill Thor has a course through Gun Road on becoming a lineman. Yes, you will have to get up at 3 a.m. when a tornado blows down the wires and you get to haul ass out there and deal with 10,000 volts of electricity. That's why you're paid $150,000. Hazmat trucker, maintenance man, solar power installer, electrician, air traffic controllers, masons, car dealer. Not terribly a lot. But, it's better than being a journalism major. And CNC programmer, not operator. I guess you have to be a programmer, not an operator. There are more on that. There's not more on that list. For those of you who say, yeah, it's not a lot of education, please let me know if there's some good jobs that people can do with an allied education. And so those are, you have to find a skill or a trade that increases the number of dollars you can charge per hour. And that's like the biggest hurdle. That's the biggest hurdle for any man or a woman who wants to actually become an independent man or woman. I know you girls think strong, independent means you just put your hands on your hip, you stamp your hand like, I got my degree, look out, I'm a strong, independent girl. Like, is that what you're asking for, a student loan bailout? And the more money you make per hour, the easier it is to get your own apartment, your own place. That's it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you are not requiring a subsidy, taxpayer money, parental money, bailouts, waiting on inheritance, you got to borrow money because you spend more money than you take in, you're about to default. As long as you're not parasitic, you are an upstanding, respectable person. You are you are a real man, real woman too. If you want to go above and beyond that, now we start going to this all category, right? You probably should hit the gym and stay in shape. Not for women, not even for other people. So when you go into Walmart, people aren't like feeling like throwing up because you're disgusting pig riding a rascal. That's everyone at Walmart. But for your own damn health. Coincidentally, that might increase your well, not might, it will increase your chances with girls. And then I would also say, in addition to staying in shape and dieting correctly, you should develop some hobbies, some interests. They may be physical, they may be mental. Because I think we got a real man, but then to become an accomplished man, I mean, go watch The World's Most Interesting Man. Now, it's all spoofy. But that he got some amazing hobbies. So that his brain is not, you don't go do amazing hobbies to be an amazing person. You do it so your brain doesn't atrophy. I don't hunt fossils and ride motorcycles and climb mountains and pick up salsa dancing and tango to impress people. I do it because I don't want to sit on my ass watching television because television sucks. And, as a little kid, anything's interesting, anything's amazing, but you should be getting to the point by 24 that, yeah, the video games are starting to get tiring. The Nebraska, the corn is starting to get repetitive. Oh, the movies there's nothing new under the sun, and maybe you ought to go out and pick up some kind of hobby. Now, you have to focus on getting a skill and a trade and a job, but you get to the point where, you got to you're a plumber and you're paid $40 an hour and you're making money and you can move out, you got your own place, maybe save up for a house. You got a little bit of free time. Okay, well, you're wrenching and you got your upper body exercise through work. Maybe you should go for a walk. Maybe you should get into hiking. Maybe you should go into cycling. And then you might want to, I don't know, join religion, join a community group, pick up golfing, something like that. That is to become an accomplished man. And then over time, you would say, okay, I'm kind of bored with this. Now I got to find a new thing. Now, back in the olden days, what would make an accomplished man is you'd have a family. That may still be in your cards. I don't know how important that is to you, but as times are being right now, women are not that interested in family or children, certainly not as much as they used to be. So, doubly so for both men and women, you got to figure out what to do without the opposite sex because there is no guarantee the opposite sex is going to be in your life. But that's a path, man. That's a lifelong path. You get to go down that. But whether you decide to, for example, Chris Beckloff, I'll give you an example. Chris is an accomplished man. He's a real man, right? He's a real man. He supports himself, pays him and his old man live together as bachelors. He supports himself, has a real job. Does he have a career? Not really. Does he have any great, grandiose hobbies and adventuring? No. But you know what? Chris Beckloff doesn't take my money through taxes and ask for a bailout and act like a little bitch. Chris supports himself. He, however, I would not say he's an accomplished man, nor does he want to be. He's happy just playing his video games and going to church. It's a very fine life. Right? But that's another question you may want to consider. Like, do I want to go become an accomplished man? But if you just want to become a man, you're independent. You don't take one penny of help from anyone. There it is. You're done. You've achieved that. And there's no way to become a real man without pain and suffering through labor and studying and tedium, fixing fix a car. There, you want to do something that make you a real man? Go fix a car. Diagnose it first, break your knuckles, ask, why the fuck did the engineers put the pump up there? How much shit do I got to remove just to get to the thermostat? Are you kidding me? Fucking Chevy's got their fucking spark plugs underneath the goddamn engine behind some heat shields. Never mind, I won't bore you with that. But start the quickest way is to support yourself. Then there's other things where if you wanted to become more of a man, fix things. Don't pay someone to fix them for you. But I'm not good at fixing things. Stop shooting the white girl blood from the suburbs, man. Stop putting that shit in your veins. You got YouTube. You watch YouTube. I got to get some tools. You go get some tools. I don't have enough money for tools. Well, then maybe work another job. I'm in debt. Get out of debt. That'd be another thing you could get good finances. Oh, I got some debt. Well, work a second job. Work 2 jobs for 3 years. Guess what? You'll be a real man. Your finances will also be very good, assuming you don't spend it on dumb horseshit, but pay off your debts. Having good skills, paying off your debt, you're great. Can you fix things? Computers, cars, carpentry, the 3 C's? You got good finances? All right. How many hobbies and interests do you have? Now you're starting to become an accomplished man. Oh, by the way, girls will not be impressed with any of it. They won't be. We're still trying to figure out what makes way. We found ankle bracelets that a criminal record tend to turn women on, but fiscal responsibility, stable employment, working 2 jobs, being debt free, that's not impressive at all. That's not impressive. We haven't figured that out. But there you go. That's it. That's how you become a real man. You endure, you suffer, you labor. You break your knuckles, you tax your brain, you do boring work, you do tough work, you do physically demanding work. Then you're a man. And I can understand that's a lot of work. It's a lot of pain and agony. You may just want to stay there where you are now, and that's fine. But do not be expecting, I'm sad, I'm depressed, I don't have no friends. Girls won't touch my peen. They're not going to. The good news, though, I really do believe your friendships shouldn't really suffer. I don't think you have to worry about that. No one cares if you're a real man or not. It's up to you. And I think everyone at the end of their life probably would care, because at the end of the day, we're talking about, did you do anything? Did you make your life count? Did you squander your life? I think everyone, both men and women, will, upon their deathbed or when they find out they're gonna die, be like, "Oh my god, I wasted it." That's a different issue. And actually, you follow my philosophy, like, well, no, I made this choice. I didn't waste it. It would have been more of a waste to go into the gym pointlessly and aimlessly when I skipped out on all this really good food and just want to play my video games or like it. It's whether you're intellectually honest with yourself or not. But I'm going to guess most people will have regret if they don't end up actually becoming a real man or woman and doing something in their lives. And then you just die. Hey, sixth generation of family living on welfare. Who who gets the trailer now? Who gets the single wide trailer in Wyoming now? Oh, it's cousin Jessup. So link below 2 courses. The dad you never had is obviously you don't have a dad. That's why you're living with your mom. I heard no mention of dads. Where dads are really important. We don't need them. We got government checks. But if you need a little bit more deep philosophy and how to become an adult more efficiently, not this horseshit boomers type, follow your heart, money will follow. You're perfect the way you are. No, all of you fucking suck the way you are. The way you are, like, "Oh, I'm just this self-important, teenage kid." No, everyone starts off sucking the way they are. Pretty much everyone who is they are is sucking is who they be. If that makes any sense. You wanna follow that bullshit, yeah, you can waste your life on that. But if you want some real advice, like, no, this is how you bring value to people. This is how you bring value to society. And by value, meaning they wanna invest in you, they wanna hang out with you and be with you because you do something good. The dad you never had. If you want the malaise to end, if you want the I'm a fat piece of shit and I do drugs and drink booze and take Adderall and jerk off to the Nebraska so I feel good and better, but it's a temporary reprieve from the sadness and the darkness and the malaise of my life. May I recommend taking the course The Dad You Never Had? Available below. And if that's too daunting, or you gotta wait for your disability check or the EBT check to come in, you can't afford the $140. I have broken out one segment of that course into its own standalone course called How to Stop Being Lazy. That's $49. That is also linked below. But if you don't wanna take both, just take the Dad You Never Had course to save yourself $49. All right, let's go to the super chats if we have any and have ourselves a treat. Sanjuro, $2. If you try and fuck up, you could say you tried, but not vice versa. Right. There's something worse than failure. It's called regret. That's worse than failure. Atham Aldecchio, $2. I work 80 to 96 hours a week, no time for depression. Right, exactly. I'm not joking. Poor people, disadvantaged, like just other countries and all that, they don't have. I have social anxiety. Shut up, Trisha, and get a fucking job. Oh no, daddy didn't buy you your convertible cabriolet. Oh no. Here's some drug for your made up designer mental illness so you can be popular with your female friends. Sanjuro, $2. That is why credit history matters. You have to do something first. Well, in his defense, if you don't care to own anything, you're just going to live at home with mom. You're not going to own a home. You're not going to own a car. I have one guy who's just perfectly happy driving a moped and actually being homeless. I think he just lives in a tent. I have one guy that lives on a boat. Your credit, like right now, I'm never buying another house. I'm not borrowing money to pay for anything ever again. And my credit history, my credit report doesn't matter. I'm not borrowing money ever again. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not going to go out of my way to ruin it either, but I'm like, nah. Adonai Batiste, $5. I just finished my summer classes A's and B's. I met the CEO of Goldman Sachs. What, really? I'm heading to the Yankee game with the Accounting Society tonight. Well, hang on. Who is the CEO of Goldman Sachs? Boy, what kind of charity event? David Solomon. He's smiling. He's bald. Is he a DJ? What's he doing there? Solomon, American Investment, Doo 2013, 62. Genre, dance electric. No shit. Holy cow. They got a guy with a personality. He might even have a soul. Worked at the local Baskin Robbins. What the hell? Who? What? You can't have somebody that worked as a kid and worked an honest job as the president and CEO of Goldman Sachs. What the fuck is going on there? Next thing you know, they might be able to predict some shit. What? After graduating, applied for Goldman Sachs for a 2-year ANA, but was rejected. I was rejected by Goldman Sachs too. Leading by Irving Trust. Do. Oh, wow. Drexel Burnham. Wow. He got into the junk bonds. Wow. Look at that. Okay. Well, my goodness. When Goldman Sachs got a soul. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy has real problems like growing past 4'9". Oh, by the way, add an egg. Good luck to have fun at the Yankees game. I hope they lose. I hate New York. Unless they're playing against like the San Francisco Giants. Then you're kind of like, which is the less leftist team? I guess I'd be cheering for the Yankees. Dre, Cappy has real problems like growing past 4'9". These are real problems. Atham, $2. The head of the Star Mall, Les Stando. The Star Mall, Les Stand. Is everyone on drugs today? What? Stop doing the drugs, Atham. Atham, $5. I think Kerry Kaburga or Larry Kapoya would be the better pick for vice president instead of J.D. Vance. Mexican poops. I don't even know who Kerry or those guys are. I do not claim to know what runs through Trump's mind. Obviously, he's a variant and volatile person. I don't mean that in a bad way. Just you never know what he's going to do. My guy, Vivek, he did not win the nomination, and so I kind of really couldn't care less about this election. Dre, $5. Suffering builds character. Yes. I don't trust and avoid people who have easy lives because they typically complain about the most petty inconvenience. You know what else, Dre? You know what else about people who don't have problems? They come from Wayzata or Winnetka and they don't have problems. They're the most god-awful fucking boring people ever. I remember I was dating this gal, and she kind of related to wealth, easy life. And then her girlfriends all got married to the rich guy. So we went to this lake in Minnesota, and that's the big, you own property on the lake. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's right. She did have a very wealthy friend. His dad was the CEO of a large company. So I remember at the other lake house we went to, her and her girlfriend said, there's cake. I'm having a piece of cake and I'm eating the cake at the table. And these women like, oh my goodness, where did you get the cake? I bought it at the grocery store. No. Yes. I don't believe it. Believe it. And I'm just like, well, how much did I like $15? No. Yes. Well, I love the frosting. The frosting is amazing. And I like the cake more than that. Like, no philosophy, no struggle. No, how the fuck you get here? Oh, yeah? Because he's in the chat room. Let me tell you something that's interesting because the man had to struggle. So me, Atham, and Chad. Oh, hang on. The internet might go. Okay. Me, Atham, and Chad, we go to, there's this hike, Mary's Lookout, I think it was called, on the south side of the Lake Tahoe. And it's steep. I'm looking at like something like 3,000 feet and only 2 miles one way. I'm like, that's steep. So Atham has been going to school for the longest time. He also works his ass off. He doesn't have time to hit the gym or hike. He had to do the big push. So Atham gained some weight. He's lost a little bit since, but he was carrying more than when we went hiking like 3 years ago down in Zion. And we kind of, okay, yeah, Atham hasn't had time, but we'll Chad and I will wait. We're in no rush. So you park, it goes up, man. There's no like leisurely, loosen your legs. It's up, and my calves were already burning. We make it about a third up, and Atham's like, okay, you guys go ahead. I gotta say, I'm not gonna make it up the rest. We're like, well, we can slow down. I was like, no, man, you guys go ahead. So Chad and I go, and we had to take a lot of stop. It was a struggle. We get to the top, we come back down, and there's Atham. He's just sitting where we left him. "Hey, what's up? What'd you do?" He's like, "Oh, I took a nap." We're like, "What? You took a nap? Like, on the trail?" He's like, "Yeah, I took a nap on the trail." Some rich bitch from Winnetka ain't gonna have that story. They're gonna be going through school and had to gain weight and not getting good sleep. I just, you know what? I'm gonna sleep on the trail. They talk about fucking cake, whether it was bought at the store or made. They're so rich people who didn't earn it. You're so fucking boring. Boring. Ken Rose, $2. Thank you, Ken. Alex Patino, truck driver Latino agent in the field, $5. That's why I love reading books, because I haven't watched TV since 2008, and I don't care to watch TV nor new woke movies, so books keep me entertained. I'm with you, man. I listen to podcasts. I'll listen to books. By the way, great book, Riches from Bitches: How to Profit from the Rise of the She Economy. Interesting book. Yeah, and you start going out in public, do you really want to have a conversation with the average person? Like the average person, what do you do with the average person collecting welfare? I'm oppressed. It's the group of people I was told to blame who don't share my trait to keep me. Yeah, and it's the corporations that did it. They shut the fuck up. Hey, remember that time Anthem fell asleep on a trail? He just took a cat nap. Soldier Boy, 10 generous dollars. Cappy, I know you think trades are the answer, but an issue is that old boomers in the late 60s aren't retiring. Also, were the trades always as unpopular with youth as they are now? I would say even more so. They actively shamed and would get rid of VOTEC programs at school. I remember, like, you don't want to become a plumber, or you don't want to become, what do they call them? Not grease monkey. I mean, grease monkeys was a pejorative back then. There was something else. Like the leather lizards, I forgot what they called them, but they actively mocked and ridiculed, like, "Oh, no, you gotta go to college." Um, they were way more unpopular than they are now. Uh, and yes, I'm aware that the boomers, there's a paradox going into the trades where you need to, um, not acolyte, you need to apprentice under a master tradesman, whatever field, plumbing, electrician, whatever. And they either use you as a fetching gopher boy, or they don't really train you in. And then there's a big reluctance of employers and boomers to, like, "Why would I train them in? They're gonna take them down." The job you don't do right the first place anywhere, they're Charlie. There is that paradox. I would still get into the trades because you have the economic headwinds going for you. Yeah, there's some hurdles and politics and bullshit you gotta do. That'd be some. I'm not a big government solution guy, but I'd be going in there. I'm like, okay, government training programs, you baby boomers and union thugs, you ain't, obviously you're gatekeeping. We're gonna have training programs, and they're gonna be good. They're gonna be high. We're gonna compensate real tradesmen some real money to teach you, and we're sending you out. Okay, here's your competition. You know, you get to use them as gopher boys. Oh my God, why is housing increasing on President Cappy? Designs, $5. Cappy and chat. Much love to all of you. Be well and prosper, brothers. Today there's much to be grateful for. There is. There's a lot to be grateful for. Like today, I could take super chats because I got the time. I'm only 3 behind today. And I'm going on with Vlad Elkins at the Elkins Accounting Hour today at 6 in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Dre, $2. Word is Atham still gets 9s and 10s like Chad. No, I set Chad up with 9s, and Atham could get 9s and 10s, but I think he's just been too damn busy. Plus, he's got himself a girl already. Um, that's it. There you go. Link below. The dad you never had. Okay? If you want to become a man. And then what the hell was the other one? How to stop being lazy. Take those two. I think you'll be on the right track. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.